Good morning. I am starting my video series with my first real repair, which it pertains to this battery. This battery ran out of juice just as we were entering the Erie Canal. It powers the forward bow thruster. And so what had happened was I hadn't realized that it was wired in an unconventional way. The AC, the alternate current, travels through a circuit that I hadn't turned on, and this is the circuit in question, this GFCI plug. You know how you have these in your house and you have to switch this on and off sometimes to get things to power properly. That's what I needed to do every time I connect to shore power. That circuit gets blown and I have to reset it. So of course it didn't get done at some point in time, and I literally ran the battery out of nothing. It goes to this charger, which then powers that battery and sits in that box, and that box is next to this bow thruster. So that's issue one. It's functional the way it's wired right now, but it's not conventional. So I have to, at some point in the future, I'll run an AC line back to a spot that doesn't require that GFCI to be flipped every time. So that was the big issue, one of the two big issues. Before I move on to the other big issue, I'll just show you a few other small things. As I took the battery out, I noticed some extraneous hardware, extra washers that shouldn't be there, terminals, which is what we call, that's a terminal there. Those should not be separated by washers. They should be stacked by ampacity, meaning high loads are at the bottom where they're going to get the most energy, and then lighter loads are stacked on top of it because they need less energy. The other thing is I'm noticing that I have some unconventional colors in my wiring. This is big wiring, and if I screw that up, it makes big mistakes. So negative wiring, which is what this is functioning as, should either be yellow or black. Yellow is preferred. Ironically, the yellow wire should be red, and it is yellow. Notice that that's going to the red terminal. And I think the rest of it was relatively good. Other minor things, this is electrical tape. Electrical tape, A, is not insulative, B, is not waterproof, and C will come off eventually. So what needs to happen is some shrink tubing needs to be applied, and then it's shrunk using heat. Now, this is an example of shrink tubing right here. So some minor electrical things. I also want a better cap on all positive terminals so that they can't be accidentally energized. If you had a pair of pliers that span the gap from this side to this side, the handles of the pliers, you would be closing the circuit, and those pliers would weld to that bow thruster, literally weld themselves to the bow thruster, and suck all the energy out of this marine battery, which has 800 amp hours, I think. I'm reading it upside down. Anyway, it has a lot of energy. That would be fire. So I'm going to spend a few bucks and put a proper cover on the terminals. Also notice that we discovered some water coming in through the bow thruster. And anytime we went at speed, we had water coming up through the bow thruster installation. I'm not sure where, because I've always been at the helm. So what I need to do is get Tracy set up at some point to drive the boat in a nice straight line at speed and look at where this water is coming in so that we can fix it. I might be able to fix it now. I might have to wait until the fall when the boat gets hauled out and have folks at our winter storage take care of that. Time will tell. All right, so the upshot of this battery thruster not working meant that getting through the Erie Canal really sucked. Every time you want to drive yourself up to a wall or off the wall, every time you want to dock the boat or move away from a dock, it's really nice to have bow and stern thrusters. Not necessary, but it's nice to have. The good news is I had the stern thruster, and so what I could do was use the stern thruster backwards to get my bow to go where I wanted it to go, which made, it was very doable. There were 2 times when my dyslexia got the better of me, and I used the bow thruster incorrectly. I'm sorry, I should say this, the stern thruster incorrectly. In other words, I used it in the correct orientation when I needed to use it backwards. But all in all, just a few bad words were said, a few little mistakes that I feel bad about, but not too bad. We didn't damage the boat at all. I think I just took, it was an anxious, an anxious moment, especially for Tracy, actually for both of us. So that was issue number 1.